Good morning. Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday. Not really sure why my cameras didn't flip from my intro. I'm so sorry. All right. To find all the buttons. I think I got them all right. So if you are watching live, drop me a comment and let me know that you are here watching live. Let me know where you're watching from. My name is Tina Bickford. I am the Tatted Stamper. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! In the U.S. Good morning, Luann. Good morning, Sandra. Welcome. Thank you for joining. So I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! I'm located in the U.S. I am in southern New Hampshire. It is sunny but cool here. We are coming into our autumn temperatures. Good morning, Dad. Morning, Mom. So yeah, I think when I'm done with the video, I'm probably going to go and find some little slice of sun out on my deck and just soak up as much of it as I can. Good morning, Liz, North Carolina. Welcome, welcome. How was everybody's week? Mine was okay. Mine was really busy. I don't know. This week really flew by, which is good. I mean, it's really good when your work week flies by and the weekend comes sooner than you expected. So that's kind of nice. Yeah. So last week last week my sound was terrible. When I did the live, my sound was terrible. And the reason it was, I have my webcam and I also have a camera that I have down at the pointing down at the desk, so I can just flip between one and the other. So it's not clunky anymore going from one camera to another or turning the phone and doing all of that. So I had the microphones for both of them on last week, which gave it a really tinny, echoey sound. So there's enough people on right now that can you all confirm that the sound is okay? Sandra says it's overcast and muggy in Oklahoma and praying that we receive rain. So New Hampshire is actually in most of the state of New Hampshire is in at least a moderate drought right now, and some areas up north and stuff are in an extreme drought situation. We have a well here at my house, so we are thank you so much. Okay, the sound is great. Thank you guys for letting me know. So yeah, we have a well here. So we're laundry, every other day. And just kind of, watching what we're using our water on because, we really could use some rain. So, thank you so much. Okay, everybody is saying that the sound is good. Yay! I don't know what I did last week. I don't know how I got both microphones turned on. I never have them turned on, so both of them. So I don't know. All right, let me flip down to the desk camera real quick. All right. These are the cards that we actually made. I think this is the one that we actually made. So this is the card that I made during my live, where the sound was crappy. And when I had to re-record the video, I think this is the one that I made. I made this one with that black glimmer paper, the trees with that black. It's so pretty, pretty, pretty. So, so these are the ones that I made last week. So I thought if you're going to make one in a vertical position, then shouldn't you also make one in a horizontal position? So I worked out all of the dimensions. I used up a lot of copy paper to do it, just to make sure I had the dimensions right. I made a few cards, so I have a few samples to show you for today's card. So let's get into making today's card. Move these to the side. And I have a few alternates to show you guys, but I, I want to tell you guys right now because I'm super excited. So the card that we're making today, I made it, and then I don't know. I woke up at I don't know, like 1:30, 2 o'clock the other morning with all of these other ideas in mind with this card. So I'm like super excited. I've been working on the card for next week because I'm already wicked excited about that one. Oh, there I go. Wicked, wicked. Do you guys say wicked in the when you're like in Oklahoma, Sandra? Do you guys say wicked? We say wicked up here in the Northeast. Okay, so our card base is, I'm just going to go through I'm going to go through the dimensions for you really quick. Move that out of the camera view. Our card base, I'm just using basic white, and it is, let me see if I can adjust. Sorry. There you go. There you go. All right. So our card base is 4 1/4 by 11. So this is just cutting your 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock in half, but lengthwise instead of widthwise. Okay. So 4 1/4 by 11. And then I have another piece of white cardstock that I cut to 4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. And then I have some basic gray. So I have this basic gray. I have 3 pieces of basic gray. All 3 of these are 4 1/8 inch. This piece is 2 7/8 of an inch wide. And both of these are 2.5 inches. Little fuzzies there. Okay. And then I dug out some old Stampin' Up! Designer Series paper that I liked it, and it matches very well with, and I don't remember the name of the gray. This might have been like Going Gray, I think was the name of this one. But it's just a really nice plaid. So I cut some pieces of Designer Series paper. So 2 of them are the exact same size as these 2. They're 4 1/8 inch by 2.5 inches. And then I have 2 other strips here of the Designer Series paper. These are 4 1/8 inch by 1 1/4. So just to kind of go over those dimensions again really quick, card base 4 1/4 by 11. Designer Series paper, all of it is 4 1/8 inches tall. 2 pieces are 1 1/4. 2 pieces are 2 1/2. The basic gray, all 3 of them, again, 4 1/8 inch tall. 1 piece is 2 7/8 wide, and 2 are 2.5 inches wide. And then the 1 piece of white cardstock, 4 inches by 2 3/4 of an inch. Okay. So let's just set some of this aside so we can do some stuff. All right, we're going to start with scoring the card base. I'm just going to pull out my trimmer. I am going to need the arm, the extended arm for this one. So I am going to score. And can I tell you guys, I was working on next week's card. Really quick, I was making another one, and I was doing my scoring, and I'll be darned if I did not bring my cutting blade up and cut on the last score that I was making. I was so mad. I took the cutting blade right out of my trimmer, so I would not do it again. All right, so we are going to score along the 11-inch side. We're going to score at 2 5/8. Right there. And then we're going to score at 4 inches and at 7 inches. And then 8 3/8 of an inch. All right, like that. Perfect. And then because I've already cut all of my cardstock, I'm just going to put my tape trimmer away because we're not going to use that anymore. And now we're going to fold our card base. So it's the same as we did with the vertical version. So we're folding this first one as a valley fold. And I like to just give that one a burnish there. And then this next one is going to be a mountain fold. And you guys know those. You guys know valley and mountain. But just in case, for those of you who don't, this is a valley and this is a mountain. This next is going to be a mountain. And then this last one is a valley. So you end up with the same shaped card as we had the last time when it's folded flat. Like that, like so. Okay. Now we are going to, I'm going to take for my basic gray, I'm going to take those two pieces that are 4/8 inch by 2.5 inches, and I want to emboss these. I want this card to have some dimension and some texture and all that. So I'm grabbing my joined together 3D embossing folder. Super love this one. Love it, love it. And I'm just going to put these in here, and you know, you can decide however you want. The orientation of like the flowers and everything, it looks like it's this way, but you can emboss any way you want. So I'm going to emboss both of them at the same time, and I'm actually going to emboss them this way. So I'm going to get all kinds of texture in there. I'm going to grab my plate. Let's bring that embossing machine in. All right, so we are going to, oh, hi, Lynn. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. All right, so we are going to bring in our embossing machine. And to emboss with 3D, we need our plate 1, our embossing folder with our cardstock in there, and then just our plate 4. And then just roll that through. Like so. Out of the way. And then look how pretty. It's gorgeous, gorgeous. Look at those flowers. Pretty, pretty. Okay. Move that out of the way. All right, let's bring in our, actually, I think what I want to do, I want to stamp on the back first. My hair's falling out. There you go. I want to stamp on the back first. So I've actually chosen to use Misty Moonlight. So this is, what I'm making here is a sympathy card. And I like, sympathy cards don't have to be black. And I like trying to just work with other colors for the sympathy cards. So the gray and the blue look gorgeous together, and there is blue in this plaid. So it works. It's not Misty Moonlight because that's not the color we had Stampin' Up! All those years ago, but it is there. So I'm going to be using a sentiment from Inspiring Imperfections. I'm going to use, so this stamp here, I know you'll get through this, but I don't want it to say and be stronger for it, because it's, you don't put, I don't think you put that on a sympathy card, but I do want to put, I know you'll get through this, I'm here for you. So I'm going to use 2 different stamps on the back here. So let me just grab my block. Grab that first one. Actually put it down and to pick it up. I'm going to open this up, And I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. Let me just zoom in and move some stuff around here. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over, my card, and I'm going to stamp on this center panel here. So I'm just going to flatten this out so I've got a nice flat surface to work with. Now this is that first stamp that says, I know you'll get through this and be stronger for it. You can do a couple of things. You can tape this, you can tape it off. You can tape off what section of the stamp that you don't want. Like you can just put a row of, tape here. You can do that before or after you ink your stamp. So I just liked to do it after. So I am working with, so on my stamp pad, I'm actually working with the side where the ink pad itself is closer to the edge so that I have a little more control over where I'm applying the ink. So I'm just going to come in. I can see exactly, because it's photopolymer, I can see exactly where I'm getting that ink. So I didn't get any ink at all on that bottom part of the stamp. If I did, at this point, I can always take a piece of tape and just put it on those words like that so that I don't get any ink on my card. So I'm going to just do that. Bring this in. You can see it. I know you'll get through this. And now when I peel this tape off, there's no ink on it. So when I've done it before, when I've taped off, and sometimes you have to because of the nature of the stamp. When I've taped it off beforehand and then inked it up, now I have to pull a piece of inky tape off of my stamp. And I think you guys know me well enough by now to know I can get ink on my hands without any extra help like that. So I figured I would do it that way, and it seemed to work really good. So now I'm just going to take that other stamp that says I'm here for you, and this one I can just ink this one up willy-nilly, just like that. And I'm going to put that one on, kind of offset a little bit, like so. Now, what I like about doing the stamping first is I'll fix this one after, I'll show you, but I don't have a piece of cut right now. But if I stamp on this right now and I get a little smudge, like there's a little smudge in here on the word you, I can always cut a piece of white cardstock and stamp it and then put it on here, which I'll end up doing for this one. I'm just going to cover that ink for right now. All right, so that's what we're doing there on the back. And then the only other part to the back I wanted to do is the two pieces of designer series paper that are 4 1/8 inch by 2.5. We're just going to adhere these to those two outside panels. Zoom back out. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my glue, my multi-purpose liquid. Yeah, there you go. I don't know if any of you guys have been with Stampin' Up long enough to remember this. I think that's Going Gray, and there's Garden Green that's in there, and Night of Navy. And I want to say this lighter blue is Brocade Blue. I don't remember. I have so much old designer series paper, it's not even funny. And I'm just going to put that on there. Nice even border around all 4 edges, so the 3 edges and then to the score line, and do the same thing with this other piece here. Okay. here. Just give that a second for that glue to catch, and we will work on the front. So I'm going to take my the two last pieces of designer series paper. I'm going to take those. Those are going to go here on these two smaller sections. So, and just keep in mind, if you do have, you know, a designer series paper that you're using that has an up side and a down side, you know, one that's directional, you want to make sure that when you're putting it on, you are aware of which side is up and down on your sentiment on the back, so that you don't put your designer paper on upside down. And that one there. Perfect. And then I'm going to take these two pieces here of the basic gray that we embossed, and these are going to go on these two outside panels here. Like so. And same thing, nice even border around all three of those sides and with the score line. And it's like it's amazing to me that, you know, some of them, like I said, this paper, the designer series paper is old. It's from, you know, 20 something years ago. So the fact that it matches or coordinates with this basic gray is very cool. All right. Now I'm going to take this plain piece of basic gray and I'm going to put it here. This is actually just a layer. This is going to end up being just a layering piece. So I'm not going to, we're not embossing it or anything because it's going to, most of it's going to be covered anyway by a white panel. There. So one of the reasons that I decided I was making a sympathy card is I was watching, I'm sure some of you have, well, probably all of you have seen videos from TX Stampin' Sharon. And I was watching a video that she was doing this week with the peaceful, what is it? I don't know. I can't remember the name of the stamp she was using. I don't have it. So she was using it and she was making a sympathy card. And she said the sympathy cards are the hardest cards to make. And it's because they're the hardest cards to make when you need to make them, because who wants to be making a card, you know, for that occasion, you know, when you need it. So her advice was make a bunch of sympathy cards ahead of time so that you have them on hand so that you're not stressed about making a card. So I think that's great advice. So this is what the card right now looks like. It looks, you know, it's got that plain and then the two little side panels, open it up to that surprise designer series paper. Perfect. And then we're going to take this white piece here, this white cardstock. This is going to go here, but we're going to stamp on this. So, and we're going to stamp in the Misty Moonlight. So I decided that I was going to use a sympathy with deepest sympathy out of this set, Peace on Earth. This is a new set that is available. And I really like, what I like about this is you can use this for lots of, you can use this for, obviously for Christmas because it's peace, love, joy, you know, peace on earth, all the best in your new adventure. So you can use it for, you know, that. But I really liked that it's also got a sympathy sentiment in it. And I want to just show you, in case you haven't seen yet, the dies that go with this bundle are really cool. I was playing with it, so I actually have a couple of little things, little white pieces in here. So you've got two of the like doves, and you've got some little envelopes and little sprig and a sprig, and then two really nicely shaped sentiment dies. So very cute. So sympathy. Oh, and the no, like the stars. So yeah, sympathy. You know, Christmas, whatever, peace on earth, love, all of that. Super cool. Love those. I have actually been playing with those, and I'll show you that card. I'll show you the card I made with those so that you can see that. But yeah, we're going to use this with deepest sympathy. So I'm just going to grab that one. I'll just use my big block here. Pull in my Misty Moonlight. Again, tap, tap. And I'm just going to come in kind of centered and then down a little bit. And then put that back in there. And one, I just want this one flower. And I can, yep, use that one too. And I'm staying with just the blue. I'm not getting, I'm not trying to add too many more colors. So just gray and blue with white. So just that, nice and simple. And let's throw that on there. Now, the sample card that I did with this, I just glued it right on. I think this one I'm going to put on with dimensionals just to bring it up a little bit. So I'm going to add one of these brass butterflies to this before I put my dimensionals on. So I'm just going to come in and just one little butterfly right there. And then let's do our dimensionals. So, and one in the middle. Man, these backings are so easy to come off. Love it. Okay. And just going to come in here, line that up so that it's nice and even. Got a nice even border with that basic gray. And voila. How is that for a gorgeous sympathy card? Easy peasy. And for this one here, now you can add some embossed panels on these two sections. I'm going to cover this one up because I don't like that smudge. I'm going to cover that up. So I may also put some white, you know, because this is going to be white. I may also, and I want all this to be white in here. I may put some embossed panels on there. And if you do, it's just really going to be the same size as your DSP, which is, did they say it was 4 1/8 by 1 1/4? Emboss it and just put it right in. And then, you know, I'll put a panel in here just to kind of cover that up. And yeah, so there's that. There's our sympathy card with a little bit of dimension from that, those dimensionals, popping that up. One little, you know, element there. Love it. Love it. Okay, so I'll show you. This was my sample card. So this one, the only difference is I just didn't put this up on dimensionals, and I also had this stamped up higher. I like it here stamped so that the flower and the sympathy are more center instead of looking like it's up. But that's just me. There's that one. I'll just do it. I don't. I'm not zoomed all the way. There. Now you can see them all. So there's those two there. And then I did another sympathy card. So this one, I'm actually just letting the designer series paper do all of the work for me. So this was from Floral, I think it was from Floral Impressions. And then I just used a different pattern from that same paper pack so that it gave it that separation. And I used Moody Mop. So I just wanted one pop of color on here. So the words are in the black, the tuxedo black, but I wanted just the flower itself because there was a lot of black and white flower going on here. I just wanted one little pop of color there. So I used the Moody Mauve. Same thing with that butterfly. And I did put I dragged the edges of this panel, this white panel, in the Moody Mauve to give it just a little bit of a border there. And on the back, I put those that same designer series paper here. And because the card itself is black, I left these two panels in here just black. There's nothing on them. That's just the cardstock itself. And then just one piece of cardstock in the middle using that Peace on Earth stamp set, sending heartfelt prayers. There's that one. And then I also made a Christmas card. So this is the Christmas card I did using the two-tone the two-tone cardstock. I embossed it using the Forever Plaid and then sanded it like a lot of people are doing with that two-tone cardstock. And from that two-tone cardstock, I also die cut using that the bow punch. And then these dies, I think, came out of the Charming Day. Popped a little round circle on there from the, oh Lord, you guys know what die that's from. Why can't I think of that? All right, well, now I know how all of the other demonstrators I watch forget the names of things, because I just did. And then I popped just some gold embellishments on there. And when I open it up, what I did was, for the two-tone cardstock here, I used this is the dark side and this is the light side. So I alternated the dark and the light and the plain versus the embossing. So there's that one. And Spotlight on Nature. I knew it. Oh, all right. So these are the cards. These are gorgeous. You guys, I wish you guys could see these in person. These are gorgeous. Love them, love them. So those are all of the cards. So I am just going to, let me see, flip the camera to me. Oh, okay, right there. Here I am. Here I am. Oh, my hair's a disaster here. So anyway, that's the card. So I'm calling that one, let me see, what did I call it? The triple panel horizontal card is what I'm calling it. So I just called the other one that it's triple panel Northern Lights card or something like that. So the triple panel card and the triple panel horizontal card. So next week, do not miss next week. I am so excited for this card. It's gorgeous. It takes this card to the next level, this fun fold to the next level. So I'm super excited about it, and I'm going to be working with that a little bit more today, before I go and find my little slice of sun on the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed this card. If you're watching and you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing to my channel. Hit that little bell button so that you get notified every time I go live, or when I upload a video. And, oh, Dad. Yeah, it's aging. It's got to be aging. That's what it was. Yeah, as I'm getting older, I'm forgetting more and more. So... And I don't, sometimes it's a blessing though. I'm saying sometimes it's a blessing, some of the stuff that I've forgotten. So, yeah, so I'll be back next week. There are links in the description of this video. I just saved it. So there are links already in the description of the video for my, my Facebook page, my Instagram page, the if you want to shop with me, if you want to join my team, there's all kinds of links in there. My email address, if you need to contact me, is thetaddedstamper@gmail.com. And yeah, so I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you next